There's a new putting goal. It's not Dan. Don't think it's Matt. Right, good evening, welcome. We're live, we're talking the match tonight. I hope you can see me. I do have a little bit of internet issues, thanks Virgin Media as always for playing very poor internet to my house. So we're going to talk the match this evening. We've got the chat going up here out in front of me, which you'll confirm if you're getting a connection or not. Absolutely looking forward to your comments tonight as well in the chat. We've also got two special guests. So we've got a guy called Alex who responded to one of my tweets earlier, which we're going to phone. So this is Alex earlier. He actually watched the match, wasn't thrilled with the quality, but liked the idea of it all, is what he said. So we're going to actually be phoning Alex in a second to talk about his opinions, because there's lots of opinions out there, including mine. And I haven't really kind of forged a conclusive opinion about it yet. But I didn't actually watch it, so I just followed it online and kind of kept in check with it as it was unfolding, mainly through social, which is how I follow most of my kind of golf nowadays, to be honest. Sound and stream, MG giving the thumbs up. Thanks, MG, in the chat. Always nice to have your comments in the chat. Keep them going. You versus me in Oz, the match part 2. Brad Small. Yes, absolutely. Could be a fun one. Mark, say hello to the new putting god, the grumpy golfer. Hello. Hi from Canada, Kelvin. Hello from Canada, Kelvin. Thanks all for joining. So we're going to start with a phone call from Alex to get his opinion of someone who actually watched the match. So I'm going to phone Alex now, get my speaker up.
Hello.
Good evening, Alex. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Mark. Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for joining in on Twitter. I've just read your tweet out. You watched 9 holes, so did you watch the back 9?
No, I watched the front 9.
Okay.
I watched from the first tee off on the first hole, and then I switched off after 9 holes.
Because it got all a bit late, or you got bored, or what? Why the switch off?
It got possibly a little bit late. I switched to following it on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I was sort of bouncing between a bit of golf and a bit of football.
Okay.
So I followed it on Twitter, and obviously it was all over Twitter, so really easy to follow.
Yeah.
So that was sort of the decision why I, changed to following it online.
Okay, interesting as well, because I followed it online, very much online, didn't feel like I needed to watch. And what a few people are saying, and we'll dig into the comments later, is obviously what people forget. I mean, I film 18-hole course vlogs. I don't know if you watch them or not, but I film us playing all 18 holes. And we cut them up into 3 holes because that's really kind of long enough. 20 minutes, half an hour they break down into, which makes them actually quite digestible. If we went and put all 18 holes out, and bearing in mind we're not filming us walking between shots, we capture over 2 hours of footage. I mean, you're talking 4 hours, 5 hours of not much golf on a golf course, basically, aren't you? So it's I could see how maybe they could change the formula in the future, possibly, which is kind of what you were suggesting as well, wasn't it? It wasn't thrilled with the quality, but liked the idea of it all.
I enjoyed the idea of it. I thought I'm quite new to the game. I've played it for about 3 or 4 years now, and
Great.
I've always followed Tiger and I've always followed Phil, and they're great characters and they're great to watch. And I thought it was a really good idea.
Yeah.
But potentially sort of 10 years too late, because they're both out of their primes.
Yeah.
Woods is playing decent golf. Phil's playing in and out. They're missing cuts, etc. And it was a lot of money, obviously, on the table.
Yeah.
The side bets were quite fun to watch. They were quite interesting.
Lots of people said there wasn't quite enough of them. Almost, I don't know if they... I don't know. I mean, my experience of filming the golf we play is we have all intentions of doing X, Y, and Z, and sometimes you just get lost playing golf because we try to make it as natural as possible. Because lots of people were saying that Tiger went quite quiet when he started hitting a few bad shots and was down.
That's right. And he was trying to go Mickelson into a few sort of side bets, and I think it was about, Phil Mickelson was about 270 out of the green on a par 5, and he tried to goad him into quite a sizable bet to hit the green.
Right.
But Mickelson wasn't interested in it.
Yeah, but I mean that's fun to watch. That's fun to watch, isn't it? That's the fun aspect that I guess we kind of want more of, isn't it?
Yeah, I enjoyed that side of it, but I watch a lot of golf, European tours. I went to British Masters this year.
Great.
And Wentworth this year as well.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of following players around and watching certain people, and I thought the players being mic'd up was good. That was good to hear.
Yeah.
The chat was a little bit, it was a bit strained at times. They were walking down the first, for example, and chatting about how cool Samuel Jackson was being there, and it was all a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they
famously not got on with each other for quite a long time, so
yeah,
it was all a bit strange, that bit.
Well, that's what's interesting as well. But I think people forget we love these golfers because of the way they play golf and their demeanour on the golf course. But when you start looking behind the curtain so the bits that are in between the shots is them as human beings. Just because they're great at golf doesn't mean we're going to find them entertaining as human beings, if that makes sense. Exactly. I mean, as someone would class myself as a golf pro, but I'm also kind of in the entertainment, I'm trying to entertain people as well. I'm very aware when the camera's on and off and what I'm giving away or not as such, and I try to always be as honest as I can, but there's certain parts of my family life, home life, private life that I don't want to let out in a vlog, and we'll cut that out. So if you were to mic people up, I think all that you might end up doing is getting not really the real version, because at the end of the day there's a lot of money. Tiger Woods goes and says something that is not that he would, but sexist, ageist, anything that could get misconstrued, you're going to wipe millions of pounds off his worth if you're not careful.
Well, there was a lot of European Tour events a couple of times this year. They've had one of the Sky guys walking down the fairway with them, interviewing them after a tee shot.
Yeah.
And that's been quite good.
Yeah.
That's sort of the 60-second thing. And
yeah.
The question you asked me earlier, do I think it's good for the game? Well, there was a whole point of growing the game, and there's been a lot of that around this year and last year, especially since I've got into golf and really taken an interest in it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's there to grow the game. I think it was just, and I think Mickelson and Wood said that as well.
Yeah.
I think it was mainly just a match for their own sort of pride and who can take the money off each other, really. That was really what it was about. And
that leads me on to my 3 questions that I'm going to ask the second guest as well as yourself. So you've answered that one already, and I've put a note down. So one of the questions was it good for golf? And one of the side notes I put towards that was, can't it just be fun? Like, why does everything have to be good for golf? Golf can just be what it is sometimes.
Yeah, I absolutely. I love playing the game. I really do. I've come down. I've had personal milestones this year. I've come down 6 shots this year from the beginning of the year.
Good stuff.
Set myself a target, hit the target. I watch most of your content that goes up.
Cool, thanks. Yeah,
it's great fun, and I love having fun with it. And if I stop having fun, I'll stop playing. Absolutely,
and that's, I think, an important point. So many people want to put this grow the game mantle out there, and I just see that as for me, we'll get in deeper as the show goes on tonight, but the fact that it's just a bit of entertainment, I think, is as important as anything else. So 2 other questions then, yes or no. Was it vulgar? Because that's a common message going around. Your opinion, was it vulgar or not?
I don't think it was.
No?
I don't think really that's the right way to describe it. People could see it in bad taste. Like my dad, who's sort of mid-50s, he had no interest in watching it. I told him it was on Sky because it was on there.
Yeah.
It was only released really late. He's like, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
He watched about 3 holes and forgot, and just turned it over.
Yeah, cool. Okay, and then does it have a future?
Yeah, I think it does. I think there's enough players around these days, especially like the Spieth and Spieth, Thomas, Fowler sort of relationship. They could possibly do it with, say, McIlroy and Rahm and players like that. So I think it does. I'd like to see it again.
Yeah.
The course was fantastic as well. It was such a well-presented course. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, Vegas does things well like that.
Yeah, but I think it does have a future, definitely. I think you could see it happening again.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Well, thanks for your time, Alex.
That's no problem.
Thanks for watching as well, and keep getting your handicap cut.
Brilliant. Thanks, Mark.
Good man. Speak to you again. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye. There we go. Interesting. Good points there from Alex. Thanks for joining in there, Alex. Let's see what the chat is saying as well. Here we go. He's talking to someone who commented on Twitter, not Raymondo from Justin. Yes, that was Alex who commented. I asked on Twitter earlier. Worst comment was Tiger saying shitty lie. Thomas Ross. And that's the other thing when you've got players mic'd up. There's emotions. Like, I could never see this happening in a proper tournament. It would take away... Well, it would add a different level of skill set that they would need to bring to the tournament, really. I think they need to put together a 5-man wolf game. That would be fun to watch. Not sure what that means. I'll pay for Rory versus Matt. Everyone wants to pay for that. Right, we've got another guest this evening as well. But before we get that guest, I need to just quickly try and get an image in here for him, so bear with me, because it's important that I always think it's important that we see our guests. Oh no, where's my image of him? Oh no, it's not there. Never mind. Bear with me. There's a little interlude here. Entertain yourselves just slightly as I find this image, because I think it's important when we have a guest that you know who we're talking to a little bit. Here we go. I've got the image now, and it would be wrong not to have this image on when our guest is phoned in a second. Let's have a quick look at some of the comments that people were saying on Twitter once I posted that poll. So I posted this poll that you saw at the start. So 59% said it was bad, 41% said it was good. 2,800 voters. So the majority just had it that it wasn't very good. The comments going along with that tweet earlier in the week certainly didn't live up to the hype. Rather watch Shell's Wonderful World of Golf. Poor from the two gents. So poor golf from the two gents. Vulgar, Ali. We also got pretty sure 90% of the bad didn't watch, 99% of the good watch. That is actually a very good comment. Pretty enjoyed it. Let's hope there are more of them. A 4-ball would be quality. So there's some comments flying around of what people want. Definitely the concept is there. So look, concept good, quality bad, yawn worthy. And again, that leads into the point I think that I'm making, where maybe not the best players in the world are going to be the best entertainers when it comes to listening what they got to say. Didn't watch, didn't care. I like that comment as well, because there was certainly plenty of that. Right, we're going to go into our second caller. And let's see what he had to say about the match before we go into the comments running. Thank you for everyone in the chat who's posting comments. I will be with you shortly.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Dan Hendrickson, son.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yes, very good. How is your evening?
That's all right. The kids are in bed now, so
yeah.
I'm chilling out.
Cool. Your job's done today, yeah?
I got all my jobs done, yeah.
Fantastic. So I'm going to talk to Dan about the match. I've got 3 questions which I will throw at you about the match at some point, but give me your overriding feeling of the match. What was it like for you, or did you watch it or not? Tell me, Dan, what did you come up with?
So I didn't really, I didn't quite get into it. I saw it all sort of being advertised, saw a few clips on Twitter and a few social media platforms, but couldn't really find myself wanting to watch that.
Right.
I saw one clip of, there was I think there was all this money on a table, and I saw Phil Mickelson sort of wrapping his arms around it, and I'm like, yeah, not feeling that.
I mean, it definitely, I felt like, for me, it felt slightly like whoever was marketing it maybe either lost control, so as in there's a pile of money, Phil takes that picture, it gets out, and they've gone, oh, why have they let that happen? Or it just seemed a little naive. Like, that picture to me was just, maybe I'm missing the joke, maybe there's a joke there and it's funny and but to me it just, that's where lots of the vulgarness started flying around when that picture flew around.
I really liked, I thought about, when they were going to start throwing bets at each other on a round of golf.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be really good. I could see the future of that, and 5-on-3, a bit like what we get up to,
Yeah.
And I think that if there was a bit more of that banter going on, I think people would really take to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think from what I could read, because obviously I didn't watch it, but I saw clips of it and things like that after it all happened, and I think there was literally only maybe 5 or 6 side bets going on.
Right. Okay.
In the whole thing, maybe 7. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but and I thought there could be a few more, and I think even Tiger tried to get Phil involved in one on one hole. I'm not sure, but he declined it. And I'm thinking, the side bets are supposed to be the charity bit.
Yeah.
And I just thought there could have been maybe a bit more thrown into that.
I mean, 800,000 or 900,000. I think it was 800,000 was raised for charity, so that does need to be put out there.
Yeah. Fantastic, yeah. Very good.
And obviously everyone talks about the winning amount of money, which was obviously a lot more, but that can't be ignored. That is something that's only good, isn't it? There's nothing negative about that.
I mean, I thought from the beginning, I thought there was this 9 million. I thought this was what was being raised for the charities.
Yeah.
I didn't realise they were actually collecting that for themselves, but you never know, they might be giving it away.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got 3 questions for you then before we wrap this up. Was it vulgar?
Was it vulgar? No, it got a bit weird, I think, in places, but no, I definitely don't think it was vulgar.
Okay, was it good for golf?
Was it good for golf? I think it's nice to have a bit of a flip with golf occasionally.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day with the old Shell's Wonderful World.
Yeah.
Just to watch a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And I think, head to head, one-on-one, great, fantastic. Bring it on, a bit more of that.
Yeah, okay. Does it have a future?
I think it does. I think it needs to be looked at, take the positives and negatives from it. I think it does have a future. I think the viewers would love the fact that the guys are mic'd up.
Yeah.
And I do like a bit of that. I think that, the comments that we get as well from when we're talking to each other and the banter's flying backwards and forwards, I think people love all that. And I think they like it even more when they get to hear the likes of Phil and Tiger and all the other top players in the world mic'd up. I think that's a really, really positive thing.
Yeah. Good stuff. So for me personally, I think it touched on vulgar.
Yeah.
I think it was naive at times in how it would be perceived, the pictures of the money. I think that could have been done in a cleverer way. I also feel it doesn't need the money. You would watch that if they were playing for betting rights. I mean, people watch us play for no money, betting rights every week, and we're not Tiger and Phil, are we? So I think that could have been done better, and it could have been used for such great awareness for charities and raising money more rather than I wouldn't say egos, but it felt a little bit like it was more about them than it was about everything. I mean, golf brings them so much and they deliver so much. I would have liked it to have been the other way around. And also, I also feel like I'm not sure what they didn't. Did anyone need to win any money? Really? I mean, it needed them to have money to turn up. Seems a bit of a shame, but maybe that's naive.
Do you think they might have, like Tiger, like he dropped into his little world for a little while? I believe that some of the guys were saying, and do you think that if there wasn't actually any money on the line, that they would have been maybe a bit more chilled out, a bit more relaxed, and had a bit more banter with each other?
Yeah, I actually think the money would have made no difference to them. I think it would have been much more about the bragging rights and the fact that the world is watching, and it would have been better if everyone watched. So the people who thought it was vulgar, it'd been better if they did watch rather than turn them off, because just playing in front of millions and millions of people, I would see it almost more like Live Aid than I would your tour.
Yeah, agree, yeah.
It could be a once off a year, like a Children in Need or whatever thing. Why does it have to be about them?
I absolutely agree with that.
Apart from there's a lot of people making a lot of money along the way. I do think it's got legs, but I also think... So I love that golf's going to try something different with that. It worries me how easy it is for people to get upset when something different is thrown at them and not give it a chance. But I also think golf struggles by being naive quite a lot. I think it's definitely got legs. I mean, we're doing it on a tiny scale, and I've done it for 10 years. People are watching hundreds of thousands of minutes of golf, people playing golf, us and other channels on YouTube. It's not a surprise. So you put big names in there. They want to know what they're thinking, what they're you know, what they're feeling, how they relate. That's as interesting as watching that sterile, you know, throwing darts, winning tournaments kind of look for me. So I absolutely think it's got legs, but I would like to see it done with more taste, personally.
Yeah, have to agree with you.
Thanks for your time, Dan.
Right, no, I'll catch up with you this week.
And I'm sure, and I'm sure you'll like the picture I've used for your, when you've been talking, I've been flashing up a picture of you, and I think you'll appreciate it.
You've got a few of them now. I'll have to have a little look at that, won't I?
All right, speak to you later.
All right,
Cheers,
later.
bye. There we go. Interesting. Thanks all for watching. Let's see what the comments are saying before we finish. Hello, Mark. Someone's saying, no prize money. Yeah, I kind of go there. What about you, Mark? You do all for money, right, Jose? Interesting. Well, I did it for 3 years with no money because it wasn't even monetized, and I still produced pretty much similar amount of content and put as much effort in that. So I was doing it before I got paid as well, but you probably don't care about that. Drop this live stream a like, peoples. Help the putting god out. Tipsby. Absolutely. If you like the live streams, do give it a thumbs up. Thanks all for watching. That has been a little chat on the match. I mean, when I was making notes on this, absolutely, I could have gone on forever with the amount of points it was actually kind of tackling, and I think that's an interesting point in itself, the fact that it did actually really kind of start touching a lot of things about golf that maybe could be better, even though it got slightly vulgar at times. Post comments down below as always. If you're watching this in the playback, remember you can always see the chat comes up now. There's a button down there to hit the thumbs up as well. If you do like the lives, I'm going to try and do a daily vlog live each week, but obviously internet connections and stuff, because I can see this one's dropping a bit of signal as well, are always tough. Thanks for watching, everyone. As always, it's been a pleasure. That was me chatting about the match, and this is an intro, but it's also an outro. This is an intro and outro. There's a new putting gob. It's not Dan. Don't think it's Matt.